Hello, it's Thursday, and today I'd like to give you my take on the Elder Scrolls Online game. I know Mike talked a little bit about it on Tuesday, but I thought I'd give you my honest opinion. I once again went the Argonian with the giant boobs route. I don't know why it makes me happy, but it does, so it's what I do. The game so far is pretty great. We've run into a few buggy quests, but there was just a patch yesterday, and those seem to have been fixed, so that's always nice. Mine isn't as pretty because my computer's a little slow and I have to play with minimum resolution, and Mike is glaring at me right now from behind the camera because he wants me to get a new computer, but I'm like, no, that's fine. But I mean, hey, yesterday he was playing with his fancy computer and this quest was super lagging for him, and for me it was fine, so that's all I'm going to say about that. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. For pre-ordering the game, we got a horse, so that makes things more convenient because we can run around and do whatever we want on that. And then we also got something called the Rings of Mara. This basically has married our characters in the game. So when you have this ring on with your partner, you get, I think it's double XP, or you just get an XP bonus. But it's nice, and when you play together you get that XP bonus, and since all we do is play together, we have been leveling up quite quickly, which is nice. But the funny thing is this led to a giant conversation of our horrible orc Argonian babies. And I say horrible, but as we kept on talking about it and walked through it, they'd probably be pretty cute. They'd definitely be hatched by eggs, because I'd be the one who would be carrying said orc Argonian babies, or Argonian, as we'd like to call them. But they probably have spikes and fangs and be all scaly and have tails and be super buff, because that would come from the orc side. And they'd be great swimmers and poison and disease resistant, and yeah, they'd be pretty badass babies. But you know, I don't think they're going to be bringing that into the game anytime soon. Can you imagine that? It's like I have to go into our virtual world to take care of our virtual child. I don't even have patience for a child in real life, let alone one in a game. Probably have to like feed it. That's just no fun. Unless we could get a nanny and just be like, here you go, raise my child for the next 18 years. Yay! So yeah, ESO's pretty fun so far. I'm getting into it. It's gonna go live for the general public, I believe, tomorrow. I'm not exactly sure, but we'll see how that goes, and if it creates any more lag for me, I might be looking for a very, 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 very cheap computer that I would just be playing ESO on. We've also been playing some of the Borderlands 2 DLC. That is still such a fun game. We have so much fun with it. I play a necromancer, and I named my robot Trevor, and he has my back all the time, and Mike and I go through the levels. But the last DLC we played was the Tiny Tina's DLC, where it was like a Dungeons and Dragons things, except it was bunkers and badasses. It's pretty fun. There was this whole quest line called the Fake Geek Guy, where Lilith and Tiny Tina were basically making fun of this guy because he said he was a geek, and they're like, no, you're not a real geek, and they were just kind of punishing him and putting him through this major quest. He had to go and find all these clues, and they had to ask him questions to rate his geekiness, and they basically were like, no, you're not a geek, we don't like you. And then he was all mad and upset, and then they kind of forgave him and was like, you know, that's not really fair. And it was really a nice nod to this whole fake geek girl thing that's been going on. I haven't really run into it personally. I don't know if that's something that just hasn't hit Calgary, or I don't even know if Canada, although I did hear some coming out of Toronto, which wasn't cool. But I mean, I've never personally done it or had anything to do with a fake geek girl. No one's really questioned my geekiness. I think I can hold my own, but I mean, who cares? Who are you to judge who's geeky? Everyone's a geek about something. Everyone should be included if they like something, even if they've just gotten into it or been into it for millions of years. I've seen tons of stuff online, and yeah, it just isn't fair, but it was nice to have that in the game. It was pretty fun to play. And I think that's it for my time this week, and this is a logical stopping point.